welcome back to my channel. This is a little video all about laying in wet washes. This is across the lake. It's a view across the lake with some trees, but all we're going to do is lay in the initial wash. So I've used a bit of raw sienna in the sky, and now I'm using a bit of cobalt blue mixture to put in some hills. Now the thing with a wet wash is that you just wash everything on wet. You can lay it all on to wet paper, but I am using a whole series of wet washes on dry paper. But each wash is got quite a bit of water in it. I guess that's the nature of a wet wash. I'm mixing up a slightly darker blue for some darker hills. I do have in my mind what I'm actually painting, so this isn't completely random. And if you look at the beginning of the video, there's a picture of the finished painting, so you get some idea that you're looking across the lake onto hills with these light sky and some trees. I used a little bit of opaque paint there, just a sort of a buff colour, and then some cerulean blue. The cerulean blue will granulate and it will give a lovely texture. So just a series of different colours mixing together and touching up to each other. They're not really bleeding into each other too much, but they are very wet. It's sort of formless, but you can see there's a progression of planes that are stepping you back into the distance. So now as I've moved down, I've become a little bit darker, and this will be an area where there'll be shadow. So I am putting that in now. I've got some cobalt blue mixed in with some Prussian blue, making it quite dark, a little bit of burnt sienna in that as well. And that's the edge of the lake, and then the shadows, and then into the water. And I am making it progressively a thicker paint as I come and put this sort of tree line over those very thin watery washes, and that means it won't bleed too much. If I put on just another dollop of water, you'll get cauliflowers. I'm just getting a little bit of movement and subtle bleeding into each colour. That's a bit of cerulean going in the water to sort of reflect a bit of what's going on in the sky. And then some darker raw sienna and a bit of burnt sienna, and a bit of ochre would be in that colour as well. The brush I'm using is a reservoir brush, and it has that nice pointy needle point, so I can get some good lines and linear effects. So washing in sort of wet washes like this is good fun, and what you're going to do after that is to dry it and then paint a second layer on top where you can go as detailed as you want. But the first wash wants to be giving the nature of watercolor, which is pigment suspended in water. So you want that sort of watery, washy feel. So be mindful when you're laying in first washes. I am building some lights and darks, which is important, and some cools and warms. So you've got cool blues, warm siennas, light siennas, darker blues. Now, I haven't dried this, but it will have dried a little bit, and I've gone back in on the top just to darken that hill down. And that's all there is to it. I hope you've enjoyed this little demonstration of a wet wash, and you try it out for yourself. Thank you so much. See you again.